Welcome to Prague in the Czech Republic. It's finals time, and this is the fourth ICF World Cup of the 2016 season. This morning we've seen some dramatic, exciting, exhilarating semi-finals. Now we're going to show you three finals live. We're course side. It's Troja course. It's the 15th World Cup since 1983. And 10 athletes go in the C1 men's final. The same in the C1 women's final. And the finale is going to be the K1 men's final. I'm Matthew Layton as always. And today, Liam Smedley and Spencer Pomeroy, both from Canada. We are going to rely on them to talk us through the course. Hello, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Good day, good day.
Spencer, the last time we saw you was about an hour ago on the water.
Yes, I got a chance to compete in the semifinals. I was pretty happy with that. So I can speak with a little bit of experience on this course. It's definitely a tough one. But I think now that everyone's in the finals had a run down there, they should be able to know the course a little better. And I think we'll see some good racing.
Crucially from us, Liam, what were the major points that we noticed in the semis?
I think one of the biggest standouts was how fast Benjamin Savsek was compared to the kayaks. We had some of those times in the kayaks getting up to the high 90s, and he was with that. So we'll have to see some fast C1s today. And
clearly he's going to be the last to go. Look at the details. If you're just plugging in, it's 5, 6, 9, 16, 19, 22 are the upstreams. So we do have a long section to go for the actual boats where there's down, 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 down. That's been interesting stuff. What are the, Spencer, for you? Not specifically just yourself, we're going to find out what were the challenges, but just in between time we might have a list of the starters. So do we have a list of the starters? Well, we have the standings. These are the World Cup standings after 3 events. So Ria, Seo and Paul. And as you can see, Alexander Slavkovsky, so surprising of many. He won 2 World Cups, but he's not in the final today. Berzik, Pescier, Koklin are not in the final either. So it's going to be a case of we might have some changes, and then next week in Tassen it's double points. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that one works out. And today's start list going the reverse order of the performance they put in with penalties in the semi-finals. 2 Brits, a load of Czechs, Germans, and the fastest in Benji Savsek. Spencer, it's your turn. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think we have a pretty stacked final here. Lots of good paddlers. They all raced pretty tightly in the first run. And I think we saw a few sections to really make time, or 9, 10, 11 if it's done well. I think that's an area where you can gain a lot or lose a lot if it's not done well. Again, I think the bottom section as well is another area where it's crucial to be really online and to keep that boat running.
Well, there's a good crowd here. The way it works is it's a channel down the side of a river. It's about 2 kilometers from the center of Prague, so you have a really good turnout. As you can see, the weather is absolutely ideal. 22 degrees and no wind, which is exactly what we're looking for. All the spectators are packed in on the, well, you see here on the stands to the river right of the course, so they're all one side. There's big stands on the left. Ryan Wesley first to go. He's the European under-23 champion for a week now, and let's see how he goes. He must be stacked with confidence.
Yeah, he came off a pretty good first run. It's a tough course to keep the boat moving and stay in the fast water, and I think he did a good job doing that. Looks like he's off to a nice start here. It's kind of 2 ways to approach this move. You can go a little wider from 4 to 5 and try and use the curl on the side of that hole, or you can push across and bounce in the middle. It looks like he's taken a little bit of a wider line, but he's done it quite well.
Wesley, taking his style, is really aggressive. He's really good at re-accelerating the boat. We're going to see when it slows down, he can actually pick it up a notch, and that's what puts him on the podium a lot of the time, is that re-acceleration out of the flat sections.
Really nicely done there. He managed to turn the bow upstream, catch the wave, and have it push him right to the upstream.
Crucial part of performing in the finals is just keeping it smooth, and so far he's off the poles and really smooth.
Yeah, it was a nice save there. It looked like he was just a little bit late on that gate, and he swept the boat through it.
Obviously, training and being great friends with David Florence has many benefits.
Certainly does. I'm sure being able to pick his brain is definitely helpful for his paddling.
David, clearly, after picking up his Olympic medal, is not here this weekend.
Nope. Seems as though he's taken some time off after a busy season. Looks like Wesley's doing great. So far, it's been a very smooth run. And on the first run, I noticed even the top paddlers, everyone looked like there was a couple places where they're a little offline, and so far everything looks to be really smooth here. So I think he's on track for a good time.
We've seen very few clean runs over the weekend, and this is looks like it's going to be one of them. Just get through that last gate. Yeah, he's going in.
Well, he's giving the rest something to think about. Well done. Ryan Wesley from Great Britain, 99.16 to break 100 is rare.
Yeah, that's a great time. If we compare that to the ones in the semifinal, that would put him right up at the top. So, like I said, I think he had a great run there. Didn't have any major mistakes. Kept the boat moving, and I think that's going to go a long way for him.
Well, it's good to start off with something that shows the rest that they have to do something special to win.
Yeah, that's setting it up for a competitive final here.
So if you're just tuning in, the Prague course it's flat. There's lots of water volume going down. It's known to be no relaxing rest places. You can have hundreds of places to put the gates, and they've chosen 24 interesting places today. Martin Thomas from France is next to go.
Really strong paddler, really smooth style. I think that he has yet to climb the World Cup podium this year and last, but he's certainly got the caliber for it, so we're going to have to see how he goes today.
He hit that wave and ended up bouncing through it a little more than he had hoped, I would think. So he ended up coming a bit low into gate 5. That might have cost him a couple of seconds, so he did keep the boat running nicely. Oh, and he's picked up a touch. Up left.
You can't be certain, but I think that a touch on today's course is going to be, and there's a second one just now, it's going to be really hard to come back from, and I don't know if a podium performance is going to be able to take a touch.
Yeah, it could be a little case of nerves. I think it's a pretty, like I said before, a lot of good boats in that final, and definitely a tough course. So I think he's trying to cut it a little tight. He's paying the price with some of those touches.
Certainly we've discussed how many features there are on this course, and when there's so many features close together, if you're behind on one, then you're probably behind on the next one and the next, and that's where those touches rack up. But we've seen right now with Martin's run.
Navigated that move very nicely.
Well, he's getting a good set of applause, which means he's certainly not a threat.
Yeah, exactly. The Czech crowd is certainly cheering for the hometown boys.
And that's normal.
Bottom part of this course has looked good, and that's a sign of an experienced paddler. If you can have a few mistakes at the top and you can still hold it together for a good finish. So
let's see how long Ryan Wesley stays on the hot chair.
Certainly not the result that Thomas was looking for today, unfortunately.
Well, for Brits, it's an exciting time. Ryan Wesley is leading the ball, and next to go is Adam Burgess. We're speaking to his mum and his granny, who were both here yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're very enthusiastic about them.
Yeah, I talked to Adam after his first run, and he was quite pleased that he had a clean run, and I think he said that went a long way getting him into the final. So he'll be looking to repeat that, and I'm sure just stay nice and smooth like his countrymen.
Sayo, he was 9th. Poe, he was 6th. 2015 under-23 world champion. Spent a lot of time down under this year.
Yeah, and I think that's been paying off for him. He's been having quite a good summer by those results.
Really strong World Cup circuit performance so far. I think he's in contention for the World Cup title, and I think that a final here is going to confirm that. So.
Again, going a little wide between 4 and 5, and he's used that wave really well. I like the punt off the wall there for the lefties. Gives you a nice burst of speed.
Really well done. Really tight, but really well done.
Top half of his course is looking very smooth here. Again, going for the punt. That's a great way to re-accelerate the boat. And instead of taking a stroke, you have that solid wall, so you can really push nice and hard. And it's paying off well there.
We saw he's 1.5 seconds up. Adam Burgess from the UK, which is 3rd to go in the C1 final.
Again, making a very tough course look easy.
Spencer Conway, who was on the course an hour and a half ago, knows what he's talking about.
It's a physically demanding course. So at this point, I would imagine he's tired, but I can't see it, so that's always a good sign.
A little bit low on that wave move. It looks like he's coming around nicely.
Well, he's giving a bit of time back. He was half a second up, and now he's 1 3/4 down.
Nicely done, though, coming across the hole. Took advantage of a move that was nice for a left-sided paddler. He was able to stay on the upstream side, really get the speed across the hole into the upstream.
Got a lefty on the last up, so that was good. Consistent. It's going to be a sprint to the finish. We'll see where he finishes.
It's going to be close, although I think he might be a little bad.
Slightly back. So, clean run.
Not quite good enough, but still a quick time. So
2 clean runs so far, the first to go. 10 obviously in the final. 2 Czechs coming up next. That's going to be interesting. The crowd has a chance to warm up this morning with 3 hours of semi-final.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a fun environment out there, nice and loud.
It's so good to have the sun out.
Yeah, we've had great weather all week, and it's just been perfect for a nice weekend of racing so far.
Next to go is Lucas Rohan, as you see, 21 years old. Will be looking to up his ICF ranking. Second in the under-23 Worlds in Prague a couple months ago.
Really strong young paddler based out of Troya, locally here.
Because there's just so much going on in the water, there's such a huge advantage of training here twice a day for 10 years.
It certainly helps, yeah. The local knowledge, chances are they've done a lot of these moves over the years in their training. Know which way the water pushes and really how to take advantage of it. Another paddler going for the punt option there.
Very close on the split, which shows how good Ryan Wesley was.
Nice and smooth through the 9, 10, 11 section.
And for the spin there, it might be a little bit of time there, but we'll see.
So far his line's been really good for the most part on this course.
And the fans are all closer to the bottom of the course, so we've got the momentum building for him.
Yeah, that certainly helps when you start getting tired. Hearing the hometown crowd cheer you on.
Not being able to hear anything else, but look, it's 2.79 seconds off the pace. He's going to have to do something special because Ryan didn't really do anything wrong at the end, did he?
He didn't, although Rohan's a lefty paddler, so this last up should be a bit of an advantage for him. Oh, and there we see it, in and out nice and quickly.
Well, the crowd are giving it their all. Time to go far, as you can see, is 99.16. It's going to be outside there.
It's a long sprint.
Oh, not quite enough.
No.
Everyone was saying it's a long sprint. When you're actually there, you've already done 1.5 minutes of 190 heartbeats a second. Is it quite tiring?
You managed to find something left in the tank usually, but at that point, you know, you're close to the bottom, so you give it everything you've got.
I'll say at least the water's moving quite fast at the bottom there. It helps you along. It's you build some momentum. The bottom of, say, like a course like Liceo, it's a little flatter.
You see them coming under us, and you actually hear them panting.
Yeah, it's a little painful sometimes.
Well, next to go, we've had some noise. It's Vitas Gerbas, who was 4th in the Olympics.
Yeah, having a very good summer. It's a tough result at the Olympics. You're so close to a medal, but you still can't be upset with something like that. So I'm sure he'll be looking to follow up on a good performance there with a strong performance here in front of a hometown crowd.
Really aggressive. I think if he can stay off the poles, then we're going to see a fast run time from him on a home course.
Yeah, and I think that's another benefit of having it be the home course. You can be a little more aggressive than other folks, just knowing that you have that, previous knowledge of the river. So
it's interesting to see how they deal with pressure, because it can be a huge positive, but also quite a heavy negative.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the hometown crowd, and that puts the extra pressure on you. You really want to perform well.
Well, let's see where is going to be the first split, and crucially, he's over second up.
Yeah, he took advantage again of the punt move there. Got it wide. Oh,
2 seconds. He's down a second now.
That touch will hurt him in the hole. He got caught in there. That slowed him down quite a bit. So I think his second advantage might have faded.
We're going to have to see him really push through the bottom here if he's to catch Ryan Wesley's bottom split, which was quite fast.
He has to do something special now.
Yeah, he's definitely opting for tight lines, trying to make up some time there.
Pushing hard
Oh,
through.
look at that, 6 seconds off the pace. It's not going to happen. Thomas Rack is going to be the third last Czechie to go.
Yeah, the combination of the touch and getting hung up in the hole really kind of threw him off. Once that happens, it's really tough to get back on track. The boat slows down, and you really have to try and refocus. But while he is having a nice bottom, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Well, to be fair to the crowd, they're giving it their all.
Certainly, they're pushing him right through the finish line.
Moves into fourth place. We've only been here a few minutes. It's already halfway through.
Wow.
That's the difference between commentating the semis. It seems to go on all morning, and here it's wow, it's fast. It's Ryan Wesley so far was the first to go in the finals, and he's no penalties and 99.16, which is looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Pesce had a great first run, nice and quick, and I think he'll be looking to follow that up as well. Did have a couple little hiccups on his semi-final run, so I think there's probably a little bit more time that he left on the table.
Denis Canoe, who recently won gold in the Olympics, is sitting this one out. It just shows the strength and depth that you can have several athletes. As we mentioned before, his brother was Olympic champion who coached Denis, and there's no one stronger than Nicolas Pesce.
Yeah, very aggressive paddler, quick stroke rate.
And now concentrating on the C1s, clearly.
Really good surf through there. That was something else.
Yeah,
actually.
Great job on the first few gates of this course.
So what I like about this is everyone's giving it a go.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't see anybody holding back, and a couple of those tough moves.
Oh, look at that, 2.8 up.
Perfect. He's definitely off to a good start here.
Ooh.
Oh,
wow.
yeah, that
Forced the water out of the way.
that 9, 10, 11 move is definitely an
just a small
opportunity
touch.
or a bit of a threat on your run.
But the force he must have used to keep it on track there is going to count at the end.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? If you're a little offline and you have to fight the water like that, it makes it that much tougher for the rest of the course. You just burn through your energy.
Well, 32 years old, he's coming to the second half of his career. But still in touch there, only 2.3 down.
3, so actually quite a fast run time if you take off that touch. We'll have to see if he can really bring that last up around. He's a righty, so it's going to be on his offside, but
Nicely done through there. Did a great job both runs, actually, bouncing off the curl into that hole and having it push him straight through the middle of the gate. Doesn't waste any time or any strokes there. It's,
Well, 2 more to go. Crucially, what's the bronze medal position? That would be at 102. That's the one to go for. Well, just
off.
No matter what happens. 6 athletes gone of 10. Nicolas Pesce goes provisionally into 4th place. The medals would be Wesley, Burgess and Rohan. However, we do have Rakan, Anton, Bennett and Savcek to go, so better off at the moment, as I said.
yeah, definitely some good paddlers, but like we've seen, it's a tough course, so you never know what's going to happen. I think it'll be interesting here.
I think especially in the finals, everyone's going to be pushing that extra bit a little hard, and when you're tired, you're at the bottom, and there's small margins, we might see those really small touches pick up. So those 2 clean runs, 3 clean runs sitting on the podium, it's good to be with a clean run right now.
Here we go, Thomas Rack, again from the Czech Republic, the 3rd Czech athlete in.
Yeah, the crowd's already started cheering for him.
Here we go.
Pushing him down the course.
Oh, wow. Big pivot there. Sort of fighting the surf a little, but he pulls it off nicely. He's high in 5.
He did get caught a little, not one of the quickest we've seen coming into the upstream, but he did manage to keep his speed. Oh, very well done. Patience is really key in this move here. You have to just really be confident your boat's in the right place, and he's done a great job. Middle of the gates, nicely into the upstream.
0.58 off the split, so he's well in touch. Oh no.
Oh,
I think that pulls it around nicely.
that's a tough area. You have to come across before the dive on the eddy line, and it's hard to keep your speed up there. So looks like he tried to make the turn back to the down, and then the hole just kind of threw everything off.
Well, slightly down on the split, 3.3 seconds up. There is space on this course. I know there was no pressure for the forerunners, but someone came down in 93, I believe. Let's see how he goes. Only 3 more athletes to go after him. Looks like Britain are in a good position with first and second at the moment.
It's a really tough upstream for paddlers doing it on their offside. He's done a good job of that. Not going to be enough, though.
We're going to have to see a 94 at around 24, gate 24 at 94 to have that lead, so he's not there.
Well, Ryan Wesley leading with 3 athletes to go. And they're all World Championship medalists, Olympic medalists. This is exciting stuff, isn't it? We don't know what's going to happen, but the first 3 so far have put down really competitive times.
Very familiar names coming up, Benjamin Safsek and Matej Benush, so I think Ryan Wesley, if he's going to be sitting there thinking about what color that he could get a medal, it's going to be right now. These 2 guys can do a lot.
Well, like mentioned a minute ago, he cleared up last weekend in the under-23 Europeans. Franz Antoni's not racing the C2 this weekend. So it's by himself, but he's been a C1 paddler longer than he's been a C2 paddler. Still 25 years old, amazing.
Wow, really aggressive, strong paddler. Sometimes he doesn't worry about his edges too much. He just drives forward, which sometimes that's what you need to do, is cut the line and go.
So one of the last 3 to go. At the moment, top time is 99.16. We'll see the splits as he goes down.
I think his line so far on this course has been really good. Center of the gates, but he's done a good job of cutting it nice and short, being quite quick.
Wow, really well done there.
Just off.
But look at that, 2.4 up.
Yeah, I think we see that in 8-9. He really crushed that move.
Oh, and great done right through that section there. Took advantage of a move. Just keep the boat running.
I think he's building through this run. Momentum is coming, and he's running with it.
Let's see the next split.
A little block on the bullard there, I think, actually put him maybe a little low.
Well, it's going to be desperately close. Look at that. It couldn't be closer.
Wow.
Exactly the same to the 100th of a second on the split.
So let's see who can have the faster bottom.
Final 4. Oh, a touch. A small one.
Oh, that could be expensive.
Very
Did you see
costly.
that?
I didn't.
No, I'm thinking maybe it was with his back just coming down the gate right above the hole, but we'll
That will be very expensive if it is true. Well, what a great run, though.
Pushing hard. Wow.
Well, slightly slower. Now, if this stays, Ryan Wesley has a medal. Will that be his first World Cup medal? I think it is. He's only medalled at the Worlds before.
Yeah, not too pleased, I would imagine, with the touch on that run, but I'm sure they'll be looking into it.
So the first half was extraordinary.
Oh, very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Complete focus, charging hard through the first half of the course.
And it just goes to show how demanding this course is. You can have a great top, but it takes something special to really put full run together.
Next to go, Matty Bennis, who had the slowest last 20 meters in the semi-final, but the quickest first 190.
He does like to do that.
Created in Pole last year. Well, let's see how he can go. Olympic silver medalist. He said he was absolutely delighted. Hasn't celebrated yet. He's been doing too much media work here with his children and family. But he's something special.
Yeah, he's a fun paddler to watch.
Sometimes it feels like rules don't apply to Matej Benush. He just makes the whitewater work for him.
Yeah, you can see that right there. He just kind of floated over the wave as if it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right to the upstream.
Really strong paddler. Each stroke is taking him so far.
And now there's no chance of a Czechie winning a medal. They're supporting the Slovaks, which is good to see.
Oh, there he is, 2 seconds up.
Look at that.
This is an area he did really well in his first run. And looks to have repeated it again here.
And the 2 Brits saying, well, wow, impressive.
Yeah, this is a good run so far. See if he can keep it going. He had a little bit of a low approach coming into the up left at the bottom, but he saved it on his first run.
We don't tend to see a lot of mental shakiness from Matej Benush. He's usually really confident.
Cool as ice. Look at that.
Oh,
1
well
second
done.
up. So it's less than before. Great noise from the crowd. They know they're seeing a top athlete, Olympic silver medalist.
Yeah, he's making this course look nice and easy.
Well, it's his to lose now.
Flashed up. Really well done. Runs the boat.
99.16, that's to what to go for.
Wow.
I think he's going to really push it though this time.
I think he will.
Oh, it looks like he's well in.
Going to be close. Oh.
Wow.
Well, not win, sorry, he books himself a medal.
Very good run. You can obviously tell he's quite pleased with that. And I don't think there were any big mistakes or anything. I think he was probably just onto his plan. Really well executed.
Well, here we are with the man of the hour, Benjamin Sapsek, with a 97+2 in the semifinal. So if anyone can lay down the time that needs to win, it's Benjamin Sapsek.
Here he goes. You won't see much faster on his day, and next week he's looking to. He has won in Tassen before. Medalist often in the world. Let's see how he copes with the pressure. The crowd is not going to be on his side. So far, Matti Benish, Ryan Wesley, Franz Anton.
Wow. Barely uses the wave. Really smooth punch.
Oh. Did he clip that on his way out? Maybe not. Very tight exit though.
Paddling really well in this top section of the gates. Opting for the spin.
Seems to be a popular option for the lefty paddlers. It's not much slower, I don't think, if any, and I think it definitely makes it easier.
Instinct, so 1.7 off the pace. Franz Anton in bronze position provisionally came down 2.9 seconds behind, but it's another penalty.
Yeah, those touches will certainly hurt.
Wow, needs to do something really special in the last 5 or 6 gates.
His speed is never in question. Such a fast paddler, so smooth, but if he can't stay off those gates, then maybe out of it today.
Good crowd support, but 3.42. Needs to make up a second to take bronze. Matti Benas will take the gold.
It's the last up on the left, so we could see something good.
Nice quick through there. Even with those touches, he's having
Bronze
quite a
medal
quick run.
position is 101.8. Right. That's the time to go for,
It's gonna be
101.
tight.
No, moves in. Yes!
Oh, wow.
Well done.
Yes.
Goes into 3rd place by a fraction.
And that's a 96. That's the fastest raw time today.
Yeah, so with the exception of those touches, it was a good run, but unfortunately that held him back from the top of the podium.
Well, that was exciting stuff, wasn't it? The first down came second, held the pressure. We do have the medalists, which are Slovakia, Great Britain, Slovenia.
Yeah, it was definitely an exciting final. There was some good paddling. It just went to show what a difficult course they set here and how anything can happen.
Maybe a disappointing day for the home crowd. We got the 3 Czechs down in 6th, 8th, 9th, but sometimes that's part
They'll
of it.
be fine. I was walking down a few minutes ago, 10 minutes after the finish of the K1, and all 4 K1 Czech athletes were still. Andre Tonki was just having a chat by himself, but the other 3 had 20, 30, 40, 50 press around them and other people. So here we go, confirmation of the results. I can't see any asterisks, so it will be official. Matti Benes takes the gold, Ryan Wesley silver, and Benjamin Sapsek takes the bronze medal, with Anton Burgess, Rohan Pescier in 4th, 5th, 6th place. Well, guys, that was exciting.
That was a great final. You could see they took what they learned on their first run for the most part, and we saw some improvements over those semi-final times.
Awesome performances. Really difficult course, so I think that the best canoeists put it down.
Well, that's what we like to see, isn't it? People on the best and the conditions are so, in my ideas, fair. No wind, not too cold, not too hot.
Yeah, you can't get much better. It's a beautiful weekend out here in Prague. Nice for racing, super fun atmosphere. So it's nothing wrong with anything here.
Spencer Pomeroy was down the course an hour and a half ago. Thanks so much for coming in to join us, ever. And young Smedley, Liam Smedley, I'm sure you hate being called that, has actually come to join us as well.
That's okay.
Where's your brother, by the way? Where's your brother?
He's just at home. He's actually going to be going back to school after a couple of years, prepare for the Olympics. So he's going to settle back in for a year of studies and back for the season next year, I think.
And Spencer, you had a few years off. You're a young gun who decided to go to school.
Yeah.
And then you've now on to the next stage. What are your plans next year? Are you coming back, or are you having a few more years off?
Well, I'm finished school for the foreseeable future, so hopefully I'll see everybody back here next summer.
Very impressive. There's not that many who have the motivation skills to have 4 or 5 years off and come back.
Well, we'll see.
Coming to you live from Prague. It's the 4th ICF World Cup of the 2016 season. If you've just tuned in, we had a cracking first race, and we're going to hopefully have much excitement in the second competition of today. It's going to be the C1 women final, exactly the same course. And look at the World Cup standings now for the men after the 4 World Cups. Laskowski didn't make the final, but still has a good lead. He's won 2 World Cups so far. Peschier helped himself by going into the final today. And we have Burgess, Tia, Rack, Kotlin, Bennis, Thomas and Urhan. So it's looking good for next week, where we have double points.
Yeah, a lot of familiar names that we've seen towards the top of the scoreboards throughout the summer and the World Cup series.
This year was a bit different, wasn't it? Because some of the athletes who were going to Rio decided to not grace the World Cups with their presence.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, some showed up for 1 or 2, or decided not to compete in the last 1 or 2. It's different than your normal year, but still some great paddlers at the top of that list.
I think if anyone can challenge Slavkovsky for that title, it's Ante Burcic moving to a home course next week in double points. He'll be maybe the one to watch to take it off, but Slavkovsky's really consistent. So
World Cup standings again after 3 events. Mallory Franklin's leading for Great Britain, but very close from Kimberly Woods and Nura Villarubla, with Jessica Fox, Claire Jacquet, Lascano, Wolfgard Royal, Naomi, who's not here this weekend, and Cécile Tixier. So I think there's about 6 or 7 of those who are actually competing in the final today.
Yeah, it looks that way. It's definitely, they've got a hold on the top echelon of C1 women at the moment.
Well, this is going to be really interesting to see how this discipline develops over the next few years, with an Olympic spot in perspective.
It's incredible how quick it's growing, actually. It's not super new anymore, but it's only been a couple of years.
Was it 2010 when it first came on?
Yeah, I believe so, and it's really, from the beginning, it's growing quite quickly, and it's getting much tighter in terms of the times and the competitiveness. So it's really good to see. I think in 4 years' time, it'll be a really tight race in Tokyo.
many different countries allocate their funding based on eligibility for the Olympics. So
we should just have it. We'll need to discuss at a point. These are the ladies lined up for the final with the reverse order of the performances they put in the semi-finals, including their penalties. And as per often, the bottom end is stacked. Fox, Villarubla, Franklin, Jacqueline, Hoskova, they're all proven winners, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's anybody's game at this moment. We'll have to see who has the best run down, who manages to navigate a tough course.
Well, if you're a German coming from Leipzig, it gives you an advantage if you're a C paddler, because you have some great peers around. Franz Anton, Leipzig, Jan Benzi in Leipzig. And let's see how Lena Stocklin, who can mix it with the guys, let's see how she performs.
coming off strong in the start there, pushing hard.
Opted for a spin in gate 3, and it was quite quick. Good switch. You'll see more of the women switching sides with how they paddle. It seems to have just kind of taken off with the beginning of C1 women, and it's working really well for a lot of these ladies.
A little bit lower into this upstream, but she's staying clean, which is going to be crucial. Keeping it.
And what's crucial is the fact that the women are going after the men. They have plenty of time to have a look at, see which moves work and which don't.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of nice. C1 men always get that disadvantage in not having to see too many people go down the course, where the women get to kind of spectate for a little bit, see what needs to be done.
Unfortunate small loop on 11 there. It can be a quick one. She's also taking a touch, but it's a hard move.
Going for a bogey.
Really popular in the semifinal.
Definitely makes this section of the course much easier, having that nice approach more from the top. You can carry your speed, really get on track, which saves energy and helps.
Well, just tuned in. It's the first of 10 competitors to go in the final.
Looking good so far. It's actually just been a smooth run in the middle of a lot of the gates and the one loop, but
Well, she had 4 seconds penalties in the semi-final and came down in total in 1:31. So she'll be certainly looking to improve on that. Jess Fox came down with only 2 seconds of penalties and 1:21. So there's 10 seconds between the first and the 10th.
Unfortunately, she came quite low into the last up left there. It's a really tough move. It's a very strong eddy line. Current all pushes away from it, so it's definitely a tough gate, especially when you're tired at the bottom of the course.
Linda Stocklin for Germany moves into first place, which is normal. 9 more competitors to go in the final of the C1 Prague 2016. Next to go, if victories give you confidence, you must be full of herself. Won last week in the under-23s. It's Kimberly Woods from Great Britain.
Oh, she's picked up an early touch there on gate 3, it looks like. Well done surfing across the hole. She made that look very smooth, very easy. Oh, going direct. Wow, really well done.
awesome.
Yeah, off to a good start.
You can see that 5 seconds up with the more direct approach.
A few really tough moves, and she's doing a great job.
Stays on the back of that hole really well. You don't want to go in the middle of it. There's a lot of time just sitting in there.
She did get a little hung up on that spin, lost some speed, but I think she had a bit of a cushion at the top, so hopefully it's not going to hurt her too much. She's doing a really nice job, though, moving the boat on this tough course.
These switches are going seamlessly.
Fun move right there. You kind of use a little curl behind the gate to push you and set you up and then drop into the next hole. She's having some trouble there, though.
She's done well to stay actually relatively high, given like doing a switch in the middle of the hole.
Yeah, she's an experienced paddler, so that's gives you a little bit more ability to stay calm in situations like that and keep the boat relatively on track. A couple touches on her run, but looks like she's still reasonably quick.
Switching maybe to the stronger hand, that finishing sprint. There she goes.
21.95.
So the top time we saw for the semifinal moving into the final, so certainly competitive.
It's always hard when you hit a gate early on in the course to stay focused, and it looks like it didn't really phase her much.
1:21.95 with 4 seconds of penalties. Kia Kube from Germany. You were admiring her style earlier and her coolness earlier in the semi-finals.
Yeah, she had a really smooth style. She was switching really well, driving the boat. Have to see if she can maintain that in the final. It's a little bit added pressure, and she probably really wants to see that performance. So well done, just almost skipping the wave there. Pushes right across.
Looked like she had to lean a little to stay off the pole, but she's done a good job of it.
Get that bow around. Nice.
She did her spin there a little bit late, and it looked like it actually helped her catch the wave. Unfortunately, she surfed it right into the pole.
Only 2 seconds off at the moment. But the times are still, Kim Wood's time would have put her into first, second position in the semi.
Absolutely.
Another bogey option. She did that nicely.
Be interesting to see. Kimberly Woods opted for the spin in that move, and she clearly caught up a lot of time from the semifinal. So it may have been that her coaches did the splits with her on the different moves, well, whether it was the men or the women. But
Oh no, so she's missed gate 17. Looked like as she was coming out of gate 16, the upstream, she almost tripped on her paddle there. Just kind of lost traction there. The strange kind of air-filled water on the eddy line. So that's going to certainly cost her.
Just a podium, I guess.
seeing some fatigue maybe here from that loop.
I guess it's mental and physical when you have high expectations and suddenly medals and tables have gone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Still good effort making the final there.
Quite a young athlete, I believe.
18. I'm a bit reticent about talking about young athletes when my commentator's only 17. Well, applauded over the line by the Czech fans. Kimberly Woods, 3 out of 10 athletes gone and still in the lead. Nadine Wrachnig from Austria, great prospect.
We saw some awesome moves from her in the semifinal. Really confident using her offside and really confident in the surf. So good to see those come back now. There it is. Over. Yeah.
Quick stroke rate. She's really getting that boat moving nicely.
I think direct. Yep. Just like
wow,
semifinals.
really well done.
Yeah.
Really taking huge risks, but paying off.
Tight on that game.
Certainly, yeah, and that's it's not an easy move, so she made it look quite easy, and I think that's a sign of a quick way to navigate it.
Well, Kim Woods had 4 seconds of penalties. She now has 4 seconds of penalties. We saw she was slightly up.
Opting for the bogey where Kim went for the spin. So
Mixed emotions because you're hoping that competitors do their best, but clearly you have your own interest in mind.
You certainly do when you're standing in that position.
I think when you're sitting out there, the goal is that you put out your best performance, and that everyone else also puts their best performance, but that yours is the best on that day.
Oh, taking that out. Would that going to be a 2? Oh, yeah. But look at that, still going fast.
Yeah.
We've seen a few of the women have some issues coming across the hole there. I think it's a tough part of the course because you're so tired. It's near the bottom, and it's pretty demanding. You have to get the bow up and above, nice and dry, and then generate a bunch of speed to get into that upstream.
It's a balance to strike between switching sides with your paddle and finding that strong offside. She's
4th touch on gate 22 there. It's going to
be a good run time.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Well, look how close that is, despite 8 seconds of penalty. But it does show for the others there's plenty of space.
It certainly does, yeah. I'm sure she's hoping, she can't be too upset she's sitting in 2nd place at the moment, but certainly hoping she had a clean run.
4 out of 10 athletes to go, so 6 left, and it's Martina Sedkova from the Czech Republic. 2 Czech athletes in a row now. Been on competing for the last couple of years while they're still only 18.
See that bronze in under 23 World Championships back in Australia in 2014. So she knows what the podium feels like. She probably knows what a finals run needs to feel like to get on that podium. So she's probably looking for that today.
Well, now's the time to go. It is the final. So far, crucially clean. Clear, rather.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of this. Going clean will go a long way in a tight race.
It's a bit off the pace, unfortunately, 2.7.
Good recovery there on the spin. Maintaining focus. And another bogey.
she's done that quite well. She came in nice and tight, didn't go much below the gate. I think that was a very quick option.
So again, that's local knowledge of knowing what to do under pressure.
Yeah, definitely a big factor.
Well, she was 2.7 off in the last split. Has she made time up?
Good switch, solid upstream.
No.
This may be the last crux move.
Yeah, we've seen some of the other ones have some issues there, and she's done a fantastic
Really
job
well
coming
done.
across.
Wow.
Well, the crowd are giving it their all.
Like you said before, when you're feeling the pressure and your arms are just feeling a little limp at the bottom of the course, that helps. It goes a long way.
She's on the left. Pull up. Go, go, go.
2 more gates to go, and it's looking faster. It's not going to trouble the goal, but can she win a medal?
The crowd's pushing her on that long sprint.
Well, moves into 3rd place provisionally.
With just 5 boats down, it's quite hotly contested, actually. We've got those 3 that are really close to each other, where we had a 10-second spread. The semi-final there, we've got more of a... The podium will be fairly tight.
Look at the names to come, though. Hoskova, Jacquet, Franklin, Villaubler, and Fox Senior.
I think we may crack it at the teens in these next few athletes.
Katerina Hoskova, former world champion, won here in the World Cup last year. Huge amount of work she does behind the scenes with the local admin, also with the kids. Guaranteed a smile, know what happens, whatever happens at the end.
Serve to punt, really well done.
Yeah, it's great for these athletes being able to race in a big World Cup event like this in front of their hometown fans, especially her involved with the local organization in Prague. So,
do you feel it's because it's an Olympic year and the Olympics are over? Is the pressure off a little bit?
It depends on. I think in C1 Women, not yet an Olympic event, or not this past summer. I think that the pressure is definitely still there. We have all the top boats competing. So
wow, that was really well done.
Maybe it's because it's a lovely weather, it's a bit of a party atmosphere. But she's putting together a great run, really was half a second off the pace at the last split. Kim Woods is looking nervous.
Yeah, that was nicely done.
I think we can rely on the local Czech knowledge at the bottom of this course.
Well, Kimberly Woods had 4 seconds of penalty. Katerina Hoskova is clean. Will that come into play?
Oh,
a late
picked up a touch. Kimberly Woods had a bit of issue coming across that hole, but
really smooth.
Yeah, it seems to be very well done.
Well, it's going to come down to pure force in the last. How much has she got left? 121.95 would be gold.
Nice and high.
123 is the bronze.
She'll be pulling very hard here. Everything she's got left.
Here we go.
Looks like she's well ahead, in fact.
Really tight.
Very close. Oh! Almost a second and a half up. What a run.
Well done. Amazing.
Well done. That's exactly what you want, you know, racing in front of the local fans. Come down and be in first place.
Looking at some of the published stats, it's 11 times she's been on a World Cup podium. Won once. Can France put herself on a podium today? Claire Jacquet next to go.
Oh, there's at the touch there with the bow, I think, coming around.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Okay, that's one way of doing it.
So the water on that gate comes off the boulder just above, and it really pushes outside towards that pole. So it's, if you're a little bit early, it's very easy to get pushed into it.
Although another touch added really early on, you got to think this may be a bit of some nerves moving into the finals.
Certainly, and that's when experience really comes into play. If she's able to put that behind her and refocus, she could still have a pretty good run. We've seen that touches don't necessarily keep you off the podium.
A little late on that spin. I don't think she's going to be on the first wave. There she goes.
Yeah, low coming into gate 9.
Smooth through this section. Well done.
10-11 was really well done. I think one of the better ones that we've seen so far, but I think coming in low to gate 9, not only did she lose some time there, to work that much harder to get up to the gates, so I think that'll hurt her time.
Expensive start, huh?
Yep. I think that's something that there were some touches, there was some room for error to make the final through from the semifinal, but now that you're in the final to make that podium, you really want to keep it clean, given our new leader, clean run. Or no, sorry, one touch. Plus 12 is putting us at about 5th place.
Good solid run, but it's not going to be enough to make the medals. And coming up, we do have Mallory Franklin, Yuria Villarubler, and Jessica Fox, who are all capable of winning.
Absolutely,
And have all won recently.
10 seconds of penalties is not going to cut it.
Even with the pure time, unfortunately. As you mentioned, 5th, good call.
I think we've got some 3 very good paddlers on the podium currently, but I don't think any of them feel too secure with the next 3 coming down.
Yeah, I think any of the next 3 could win this one if they have a
And what's
run.
crucial is they'll all expect to.
Exactly, yeah. I think you have to have that mentality as well, especially these women are right up there.
Twice, as you see on the stats, twice vice world champion.
You need to think that you can do it if you want to. So I have no doubt that they're all going down planning on winning this race.
And the fact that Mallory and Kim have just spent a week competing at the European under-23s, they're probably still in competition mode.
Definitely.
It's going to be a long 3 weeks for the 2 World Cups. But they seem to be in fine form, considering.
See where she's on the first split. And you can see she's up.
She looks maybe just a little late there, and went for a spin into the hole.
So not exciting, but efficient.
Pulls it off really nicely,
Yeah,
actually.
she,
Into the hole.
Don't know if that was as planned, but she managed to save it quite nicely.
And we're seeing actually the second British take this spin move, so there's going to be some coordination there on the coaching staff. Almost everyone's done the bogey, and both the Brits with the spin.
Yeah, and while it was a mistake, I think she handled it really well. She still looks like she's off to a good run.
Smooth and clean, most importantly. Let's see where the split is.
Oh, she's gained a little bit more time even with that.
Up 1 second.
This move here is quite fun. You get to come in, really use the wave, and it's a balancing act. You don't want to get caught too much by it, and you don't want to get caught too little by it. So
Yeah.
she's maybe not one of the best ones through there, but she still managed to be right in the middle of the next down.
We certainly saw a few K1 men on the too little side of things.
I mean, when you try and cut that line, I think it's the risk that you run.
She's in it.
Yeah, this is a quick run. It'll be very close, I think.
Moves into second place by
Wow.
0.22 of a second.
Really well done, holding the focus from the top of that course.
Says Kimberly Woods doesn't look that delighted for her compatriot that's just beaten her. As we stand, 2 athletes to go. Katerina Hoskova's guaranteed herself a medal, so far leading with 1:20 with 2 seconds of penalties, followed by Great Britain's Mallory Franklin, followed by Great Britain's Kimberly Woods. Yuria Villarubler, who I think she knows every single resident of La Cédagelle. I know when you're walking around with her, everyone comes up and has a chat. She's a winner so far this year. So.
A part of who she is. She's always smiling, always really friendly around the course, coaching some of the Andorran athletes actually. So
Picked up a touch in gate 3. They ended up bouncing through that hole between 4 and 5 a little.
although these last 2 athletes, if you're going to pick someone to absorb a touch, it's these 2.
Certainly, yeah.
And the great thing for other spectators is the last 2 to go are probably the most exciting athletes to watch. So we have no idea whether the Czechs are going to have a victory. They're being nice and quiet though, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're not picking favorites in this one, it doesn't look like.
Although their hometown is on top right now, and they're just sitting on the edge of their seats, I'm sure. Here we go for the spin.
Oh, she looks like she was a little high, having to wait off that pole.
Kept speed well, though.
We saw back on her split, she was definitely in touch, even with the penalties. So,
well, last 2 competitors to go. Where's she going to be on the split?
Powers up through that eddy really nicely. Good stroke.
really in control. She's doing a great job.
That's what we want. She's 0.6 up with a 2-second penalty, which is the same as Haskova had.
A little deep, a little low, but she keeps the boat running. Importantly, flat and running. So
it's going to be tight, isn't it? First 3 at the moment. It's 1.43 seconds between them.
Oh, I don't know if that was the best time switch we've seen. She switched just coming over the eddy line and ended up coming low, although she's still got...
Let's see what she has in this tank.
Really strong sprint, but I don't think it's there.
No, it's pushing for 3rd place, 121.95.
Oh, just out.
Just into 4th. So, Katerina Hoskova has at least silver. Malo Franklin has at least bronze. It's either Jessica Fox, who won the 2013 Worlds here by 13 seconds. Can she fulfill her potential? You can pretty much guarantee if she touches anything, there'll be an appeal against her. Here she goes.
Let's hope that she's fast enough. The touch doesn't matter.
So had a lot of air miles stacked up in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can certainly imagine. I think she was Rio, then home, now back in Europe. So
Direct, well done.
But you liked her semi-final run.
Yeah, it was really well done, and she keeps the boat running well and times her switches really well, which is really important. It's maybe something behind the scenes you don't consider just watching from the outside, but if you see them switching when the boat's moving and it's with the current and they're tracking, then that's a good switch. So
yeah, Jess does a good job. She's never fighting the water. She's got really good feel, so she kind of makes the water work for her as much as
well. 2.21 up.
Going the wider line here for 9, 10, 11.
Going onside to have that extra control through the hole, and a good call, clearly. Yeah. She joined in deep.
Well done.
Kimberly Woods watching closely.
It's exciting stuff.
That's the spin, so 4 spins, 6 bogeys.
See where she is on the...
That was really good.
Last split. See if she's gained any time.
I think the great thing about the local crowd is they do appreciate a top athlete.
Yeah, if anywhere, appreciates.
4 seconds up.
Yeah, they know what good paddling looks like, so I think they're supporting that, knowing that they'll still see a Czech on the podium.
There's a love for Czech athletes, but there's a big love for canoe slalom here.
And on her day, no one's going to come close.
Oh.
Crucially, she's clean. 1 gate to go. And could almost cross the line without paddling. Well done, Jess Fox takes the gold.
Wow.
Very nice.
Cuts her her winning lead in about half, from 14 to 7 seconds, but I think that's still domination.
And didn't go, in my eyes, didn't go close to a gate.
No, she was, I wouldn't say played it safe, but she definitely managed to stay in the middle of all the poles. And looked very smooth coming down there.
Well, that's
some great performances through there.
Definitely an exciting final to watch.
Yeah.
So 2 gone, 1 to go. But to win by over 6 seconds in such a competitive field is pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just it goes to show, and when you're on and you just have a nice solid run, it can really work out well for you.
Kimberly Woods maybe looking at those 2 touches. 117 without them would have been a lot closer, but
well, this is
hard.
The final classification. Oh no, we have a asterisk next to Jess Fox. Well,
what would it?
Apparently it's already off. There's going to be no change. I'm hearing So if this is the case, Jessica Fox will take the gold, Hoska will take the silver, and Maoli Franklin will take the bronze.
Good race.
Well done, good race. Bit of palpitations there for a second. But Jess may be a bit wiser now. She's learned not to celebrate until 10 minutes after the actual crossing of the finishing line. So his experience teaches you things.
Nadine from Australia, certainly one to watch in the future. If you actually see 8 seconds in penalties, so we actually would have seen quite a fast time from her without those penalties, quite young, so I think one for the future.
And I think looking at the World Cups in the last 4 or 5 years is that there's 5 or 6 who are always there, and each year you have a new 17, 16-year-old who comes along, who establish themselves very quickly, but certainly good quality.
Yeah, we see
and
lots of
1:13 is good.
lots of women breaking into that top tier, really pushing the sport forward. It's good.
Well, you're coming live from Prague. 2 finals out the way, 1 more to go, and that's going to be the K1 in a couple of minutes. So Spencer, it's been a very high-level activity.
Yeah, it's been some good competition this morning, and I think the K1 men final coming up is going to be nothing short of entertaining.
And the water for yourself, is it consistent? Has it been good?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun paddling on Prague. There's lots of features. It's kind of non-stop, but with that being the case, it's also a very consistent course in the fact that nothing changes too much. So it's not one of the places where you have lots of complaints of, oh, I got a bad swell. I think it's if you have a good run and you're online and you're able to take advantage of the course and the features, you can definitely put down a good time.
Well, look at the World Cup standings after 4 events, and British dominated. Mallory Franklin 207, followed by Kimberly Woods. Both of them did themselves no harm today, and Jessica Fox, who hasn't competed so far in all of them, has moved herself up to 3rd position. So that's looking good, with Tasson getting the next and last World Cup of the 2016 season.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll have her sights set on doing very well next weekend and seeing if she can pull herself to the top even without competing in all of the World Cups in C1 this summer. We had a really tight K1 men semi-final.
And this is the World Cup standings again, which is various athletes have not competed at all this year. Yuri Priskovic, one of them. But so far, Thomas Berstinger has been consistently, he's made 3 finals, two finals, sorry, and he's certainly leading as we speak. But with an Olympic year, it always does change things a little bit. We're now looking at the start list for the men, and it's going to be really exciting there.
Yeah, we have a few Olympians in the field, 4 Czech athletes.
Mike Dawson, hi.
Hey guys, looking forward to a pretty exciting final, and Giovanni's just getting it started right now.
Well, he won in Ivrea. He had an Olympic experience like yourself, so he's had a lot of action this season.
Yeah, he's on amazing form this season. He's been training really hard, and you can see that on the water today. It's a tricky course, but Giovanni's just attacking it from the top. It's good to see these top men's kayak going out confidently and trying to make up the times, because the Czech boys will go fast.
Yeah, we saw that in the semi-final. There was Yuri Priskovic had a great run, kind of coasted through the finish line.
All 4 Czechs making it through, which is what we like to see. Well, the fans like to see.
Yeah, the hometown crowd certainly likes that.
And we'll see the split time there, 34.43. it's a pretty competitive top split, and we saw in the first run he had problems through the section, but he seems to have sorted it out. And on the poles, which is a trick to going fast in Prague, you got to stay on the poles, stay tight, and keep the boat moving down the river.
Mike, you know this course better than most. There's hundreds of possible combinations. Are there any real surprises today, or most of the athletes know these inside out?
Yeah, I think a lot of the athletes that train here know the course pretty well, and the course designers did a good job at finding some unique combinations, but at the same time keeping it nice and a course that's fun to paddle on. Oh, and Giovanni's off the poles. He's looking good. I think this is going to be a competitive run time.
Oh, touching that. The upstream coming in, trying to cut it just a little bit too close maybe.
Yeah, and then the brutal sprint to the finish. It's about an 8 or 9 second sprint.
But he's definitely not going to have any of the Czech crowd cheering him on.
93.66. Very fast run time. I think if we compare that to the first round.
Looks like maybe a little frustration over the penalty at the bottom there.
Yeah, that last upstream is a hard one. The bow sometimes jumps up, as you saw with Giovanni, and picks up those 2-second penalty, and the lungs are hurting at the bottom of the course.
So we saw Vip Brinderson coming down in just under 92, with Yuri cruising over the last few meters, coming down about the same time.
Yeah,
so 90 might be possible.
Well, Giovanni just did a 93 with a 2-second penalty, so he's low 91s. I think this is what we've seen this season is in the finals, the guys step it up, and it looks like in this World Cup it's going to be the same again.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if a number of them had a sub-90 time in their head as something that they're striving for in this.
So Andre Tunker, he slips under the radar a little bit with the Czechs.
This is a guy, one to watch, and he trains here, home course, trains with Yuri Priskovits, and old Priskovits as their coach, and he knows the course really well. And if you watch him in training, he's smooth. He never looks like he's really working hard, but the boat's always moving.
And old Priskovits, as you've said, it was course designing.
Yeah. So maybe they have the inside scoop.
Could go either way, either the inside scoop, or maybe he decided to be a bit sneaky and put things that he hadn't sent for them for quite some time.
Well, getting caught up a little bit on the exit, but not losing too much time, and it sets him up nice to get back to the sweep.
Yeah, he went for a little back off there.
He's half a second down on Giovanni. We saw Giovanni having the touch at the bottom, so if Tunker can get this run going, he's going to be really competitive.
And I guess the crowd must come into it somewhere, because there's a wall of noise, isn't there?
Oh, the atmosphere outside is amazing. It's you can almost taste it. There's about 2,000 or 3,000 people just cheering crazily right next to the river. So Tunker will be hearing that, and he's made up almost 2 seconds on Giovanni there.
Nice, in and out.
Getting caught on the exit. You see the boat just slowed down, but nice direct line, straight line.
Oh, he got in nice and tight there.
He's going to push to the finish. Medalist last year at the World Cup. He's going to be wanting to replicate that, and he's pushing to the finish.
8 seconds to Hart.
Well, great run time. Fastest run of the day so far we've seen, so that's going to put the pressure on the other boys. If they want a medal, they're going to have to step it up.
Looking down the list, you know them better than me, but they're all flyers.
Yeah, there's no surprises in this final. Everyone is exceptionally competitive, and you're going to see some dynamic paddling out there when you look at that start list. Up next, we've got Mateusz Polacek, the Polish stallion. This guy is on fire.
I saw him last night here, about 8 o'clock in the evening, still looking at the course and just memorizing it and seeing what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's been training hard. He's been the training partner of the Polish lad that competed at the Olympics, but unable to compete there himself. So he's definitely wanting something here. You know, their season's ending without a world champ or Olympic Games to compete. So these are the big races for the guys that missed out on the Olympic spots.
And he's medalled here in the Worlds before.
I think he's medalled here in almost every race. He lives just down the road, so not too far from Krakow to Prague.
And he's familiar with the boat design.
Yeah, it's company his dad runs, and all the boys seem to paddle it. He's from a strong kayaking family. The brothers and the sister have been very competitive over the years, and Mateusz has been on the scene for quite a long time, so one to watch out in every race. I think we're going to see him up on the split there. 1.19, that's a huge lead at the top because there isn't much time to be made there.
Lost a little in the hole there.
such a fine line through that hole move. If you take too much of the hole, it costs the boat a lot of speed, and if you run it too tight, you risk missing the gate. Staying off the poles, looking good out there, very dynamic, nice upstream. But you can see the difference between Mateus as he's always just getting his head inside the gates. He's one of these paddlers that doesn't go any distance too far. You see it right there, right around the pole.
But he's lost a couple of seconds there.
Yeah, he's slipped away a bit from Tunka.
Well, it won't be down to fitness.
No, he's one of the strongest lads on the circuit. See these guys in the gym, they just pack on the power, pack on the weights, and go hard.
But no, not his day today.
Not quite.
Well off this one. That goes into provisional third place rather, but as we've only had 3 athletes down.
Yeah, it looked like Mateus maybe went a bit hard at the top, and it's tricky on this course to find the balance. The top's quite flat, and then the crux moves are in the bottom sort of third.
Yeah, so if you're feeling it in your arms, it definitely makes it hard to keep the boat running and stay on a good line.
I think we might have some noise coming up. We do have a showman on our hands.
Vavra Radlik up next, the Czech superstar. He's been on form this season, picking up silver medal at the European Champs. Again, one of the paddlers that missed out on qualifying to race in the Olympic Games. And home course, he'll be wanting to step it up, and then you see him on the start line,
pump up
warming the crowd up.
That's what you like.
He knows this course inside out. On his day, I think he's unbeatable on Prague.
I remember watching him here in the 2013 World Championship. It took him an hour to go back from the end to the start with so many people congratulating him on he won. Here we go.
He's off, and he knows how to race it. The Czech guys race here a lot. They know the lines. No doubt they've done these moves thousands of times. The thing they all have is they have a second gear, so if they pick up a mistake at the top, they can just start throwing down. Barbara wasting no time around that gate.
Yeah, and that local knowledge just lets them cut the lines that much tighter than some of the other paddlers.
Well, we have plenty of noise. We have the announcers really helping it along. So far, 1.36 up.
Yeah, and you see he's just making his way down. I think you're going to see him come into his own in the bottom third of the course, bottom half of the course, where it gets quite technical. Barbara's very, very controlled in the boat. You see it's always going exactly where he wants to go. Nothing left to chance. Staying off the poles, staying nice and smooth through this section, opting for the punt where the athletes push off the wall. He's looking good, he's looking good.
Well, look at that, it's really close. Just
close.
a 10th of a second or 100th of a second, 9th of a second down.
And Barbara's been down in Rio commentating for the last month, so no doubt he'll be feeling the burn at the moment.
And also spent, 6 weeks making film over winter.
Yeah. Into the last up, looking good. It looks like Tunka might have a little advantage on him, but if Barbara can hang on to the finish, he'll be...
He's got the crowd pulling him down to the finish line.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Second to first, second place.
Oh.
Great run though, 0.16. Awesome to see Barbara out there on form.
Yeah, it's some tight racing. I don't think we would have expected anything less.
Only 2 checks to go.
Well, we got Czech 1-2 right now, and they've got quite a lead over third, 2 seconds. Up next, Kubo Jakub Grigor, the young Slovak kid. Just got his Red Bull helmet earlier this week, so he's pretty wrapped with that deal and be looking to throw down in this race, I'm sure.
Another owner of a Red Bull helmet, Joe Clark, the Olympic champion, sitting this one out. But hi, Joe, if you're watching.
Yeah, Clark will be sitting at home watching. Busy boy now, I'm sure, in England. But Kubo was a guy that was on form at the Olympic Games. He was definitely competitive all through the rounds and finished up in 5th place, I think, in the end. And he's off. Just a young guy, only 19 years old.
Someone who definitely puts the crowd on their feet.
Yes, and he's one of the nicest guys on the circuit. He's always got a smile on his face and willing to have a conversation. I was sitting up the top before the semi-final, and he stopped for a quick yarn before his start.
Talking about paddling or something else?
Oh, just chatting. And he's attacking the course. He's not afraid to let go and just put it out there. Coached by Thomas Mraz, lives up in Liptovsky Mikuláš in north of Slovakia, so he does spend a lot of time down here in Prague as well.
Although he's not getting any help from
from the crowd.
Local crowd. They're quite silent watching this one. Second and a half up on that first split. So.
Yeah, and he has the fitness at the bottom of the course. He's really strong, really fit, dynamic paddler, and always a good guy to watch on the water.
And cleans up in his age group.
He's very fast. I mean, we've seen an awesome amount of depth come through in the under 23 category, and Jakob's just one of the many people getting churned out.
Well, he's keeping the excitement going, as we saw. He's just 800ths up at the split.
Oh, getting a bit tail happy there. Last upstream, in and out, almost.
Oh, stumbled on the paddle a little bit, it looked like.
A couple of seconds lost.
Yeah, I don't know how much he would have lost, but it would have slowed down the momentum of the boat, and he's going to have to accelerate to the finish.
Well, you can see the time.
It's ticking away on him. He's going to slip into third. Ooh. Great run, though. You know, see the smile on his face. He's just happy to be out there on the water.
And the first three athletes within 1.22 seconds.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see the time go lower. We've got Hannes, Schuby. Sebastian Schubert was looking really good through the rounds. Michal Schmolen straight off the Olympics, and he loves Prague. Yuri Preskovic is always one to watch, and Vít Prindic just seems to be in perfect mind space.
Say pretty much anyone.
Could be anyone, yeah.
At this point, yeah.
You're sounding like Nuria. We ask her to say who's the favourite. She mentions all 10.
All 10, yeah. Well, I think when you look at this final, all 10 are the favourites.
Next to go, another Olympic boat, Hannes Egner.
Yeah, Hannes is on form this season. Trains out of Augsburg in Germany.
And playing for the camera.
And pointing to the camera. He'll definitely start hard and try and hang on to the finish. He's a fit boy for sure. See the boat just tracking nicely. The tail's following the front and keeping the speed. Oh, hit the bollard with the tail, costing him a lot of time there. We might see some radical paddling. He risks to make up those few seconds he lost at the top. Here we go.
Well, he's hoping going to have no regrets. Look, only 1.25 off the pace.
Yeah, and again, another little stall there in that hole. It's just slipping away a little bit, but...
Is that him or the water?
I think it's a tricky move. It's hard to get the line right, and it can go either way.
Got a little hung up coming into gate 13 as well.
I mean, Hannes knows this course well. He spends a lot of time here training, and he has medals, and he won the 2014 World Cup, I think, and 3.86 down. You just see those little waves that come across the front of the boat, slowing it down, slipping away from the gates a little bit, and it adds up pretty quickly on this Troya course.
And the course designers definitely did a good job making you use and go through a number of the features. So if you're a little bit off, it's going to be tough.
Well, not going to medal today, unfortunately. Hence the applause.
But awesome run from Hannes. Good to see him out here giving it a shot after the Olympic Games. No, he's been busy. Fourth place there, just unlucky to miss out on a medal.
So 6 gone, 4 to go.
Cheeky little advert there.
I think if you look closely, his face is actually on that can. So
fair enough.
And up next we got Seb Schubert. He's on form this season, and he'll be wanting to show something special today. We saw in the semi a great run. He had a touch, and he's still well inside the final, and also in the qualifier.
He was a couple of seconds up, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was just on form. He looks at home on the water and really confident and calm out there. Sitting at the top, looks composed.
It's interesting to see with these top athletes from really competitive nations how a non-Olympic selection can motivate you.
Yeah, it does. You see it go both ways. And in the German Federation, you often see the guys step up their training and make the most of the World Cups when the Olympic boats are often training through or resting through the World Cups, especially this season with so much travel. We only saw Clarkey come to one race, I think, this season. So, oh, wicked upstream there. See the boat spin around. speed out through this tight staggered combination and get back in for another sweep upstream.
Oh, in and out there, very close.
As well on the top split.
So you're seeing pretty much everyone the same on the top split, and just on the bottom half that things have been decided.
Yeah, I think the way the course is set up is the top is quite fluid and fast, and then the bottom gets very technical, and a little mistake in the bottom adds a lot of time.
And it's almost a bit of a tease. The top's nice and open, so you feel like you can really let it go, and it just makes you that much more tired for the bottom half.
But he's looking, he's
dropping off a little bit, 2 seconds back.
And a 2-second penalty. It's slipping away from him here. Heading into the last upstream, he still looks strong and composed. And tight out is probably the best we've seen anyone get that upstream today. And hammering, put the hammer down, get to the finish.
So we do know we have 2 Czech medalists at least.
Yeah, 2 more Czechs to go. We got Mish, Smolin in there up next, and then the guys that have gone down earlier. So yeah, at least 2 Czech medalists.
This is what the local crowd wants, isn't it?
I mean, it would be pretty amazing for this crowd if we had a 1, 2, 3, but I think Michal Smolin will be doing his best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, he was saying that he wasn't too happy with his Olympic performance. Obviously has high standards.
Yeah, he has very high standards. He trains exceptionally hard. He's coached by his dad, Raffel. And yeah, he pushes hard in training, and I know that what he got at the Olympics wasn't really what he was after. But first Olympics for him, I'm sure we're going to see him back again in 4 more years.
Let's see, 3 athletes to go. So far, Czech first, Czech second, Slovak third, 2 Czechs to go, and a USA.
So he's been pretty consistent all weekend so far. 3rd in the heats, 3rd in the semi, paddling the new boat from Galasport, the Kaipi, and he's raving about it. Taking it nice and smooth at the top. He's a real dynamic paddler. When he gets on it, he's exceptionally fast.
Looked like he was another paddler. Hit the ball out there.
Yeah. Hit the wall, but managed to make do with it and get in nice and tight to the upstream again. Just spinning that boat round, looking balanced on the water. Another sweep. So far we've seen every upstream.
Almost a second out.
Yeah.
Favre still jumping up and down. I suppose if you're born a shaman, that's stronger than you, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like he's playing with the camera down there. But it's exciting to see Smolin on the course. He's looking amazing. Very fast again, in there nice and tight, pushing out. It's a tricky combination. Using the wave to get back to the right so he can set up for this big hole jump and get across to the upstream.
Given some time back there.
Almost 3 seconds there.
Little surf in there. He's going to have to push hard to the finish. You see the boat just slowing down a little bit. To the last upstream. It's going to go for sweet. Oh, picking up the 2-second penalty.
That's going to put him out of the medals.
Yeah, brutal. And like we were saying before, you see the bottom half of the course, there's so much time in it. Second up at the top split, and then it just slipped away after that.
Well, now it's going to be party time for the next 5 minutes. we have a Czech winner,
Yeah,
we have a Czech silver.
It's going to be a
We have
lot.
2 Czechs to go.
We have 2 Czechs to go. We've got the Slovak, Jakub Grega, sitting in 3rd place right now. It would be awesome to see him on the podium, but love to see Yuri and Vít both win at home as well.
And they're not all in the same training camps, are they?
Oh, we've seen a change in the leaderboard too. Andre Tunka had his 2-second penalty taken off, and it's knocked Vavra down into 2nd place.
Good spotting there. So this, as they have separate training, there's 2 separate training groups, as I understand.
Yeah, you got Vavra and Vít train together, and then you've got Andre and Yuri Preskevitz are training together. They train under separate coaches and work here together on the course. It's pretty amazing when you come down at Czech training slot, you see 2 world-class groups just battling it out.
Well, here we go. World champion, Olympic medalist.
Yeah, Yuri knows this course inside out. He's grown up here basically, spent a lot of time out here every day, and he's one of these paddlers that just make it look easy, floats down the course and then just absolutely smashes the upstream like that.
Yeah, he doesn't waste much time.
Yeah, he wastes no time in the upstream and no energy on the downstream, so it's very impressive to watch. He's also an amazing competitor when it comes down to the big moments like this final.
He's taking it apart. Look at that. 2 seconds up.
But just picked up a 2-second penalty.
Okay, it's giving it back to keep it interesting.
And this is when it gets exciting, when you get a guy like Yuri picking up a 2-second penalty. He just starts to open up.
Yeah, he knows he's got a little bit of time he wants to make up and really pushes the boundaries.
Well, this is what it's all about, isn't it?
It's looking good so far. We're running it a bit tight here, but he's going to pull it back.
He's often mentioned normally at the end of this race his tanks are flat, but he just keeps it going for the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, these guys push pretty hard and they hang on to the end. They know the course so well. Just keep going and going and going.
Let's have a look at the split.
He's, I think he'll be competitive, losing a little bit of time, but he's going to push it hard to the finish. He's got the crowd behind him, big crowd after he just picked up the medal.
He's going to be under 91.61.
He's going to be under 91, I think.
Moves into first.
Look at that.
1, 2, 3, Czech Republic.
By a huge 100th of a second.
Man. Incredible run there.
And they didn't count
89.
much. Didn't he beat Vavra in the Europeans by 100th of also? 100th can be quite a big margin sometimes.
Yeah, you saw in the Europeans, he beat Vavra out of first place by just over a 100th of a second, and today he's been beaten out by Tunke. Oh no, he's on the good side.
Yeah.
He's on the good side.
It's changing, they're chatting away. But if there's anyone you need to put your money on, Vit Prindis is...
Yeah, Vita's a strong competitor. We've seen his paddling improve so much in the last 2 to 3 years. He's turned into a very consistent performer. He works well with Vavra, and you've seen the level just grow so quickly.
2 questions. Will he know what's happened and will he care?
I think he'll know what's happened, but he seems to be in the frame of mind that he'll be excited by it and try and just do what he wants to do on the water. If you come down training and train with Vit, he's one of the smoothest paddlers out there. He did nice long strokes, balanced boat, and then he can just whip around those upstreams.
Well, I think the last K1 123 we saw was at the Worlds in 2014. I know we've seen some C1 Slovakias, but it's rare to clean up.
Yeah, it's not often you see the K1 123, and the Czechs have just done it today. Oh, catching a bit of time. So Yuri had a great top, but he did pick up that touch, and Vit's going to be up on that split, just behind 0.7.
So we know we have Czech gold, silver and bronze. 1 more to go.
Pushing through the middle section, you see these guys just know exactly where to put the boat and to get around the poles to keep it moving downstream and not get caught up by any of the waves. Very fast through here, very direct line on the exit. Wasting no
lost
time.
a little bit. He's lost 4/10 since the last time, but crucially doesn't have any penalties yet.
Very fast through the last combination there, just after the split.
If you're watching paddling for the first time, you're going to think it's ridiculously easy.
Yeah, these guys do make it look easy, but I can tell you now it's very hard. Another tight exit. It's going to be interesting if he can push it to the finish.
Wow.
Crowd's going wild for this one.
Just outside.
Where's he going to go?
4th.
Just 4th. So less than 7/10 down and comes 4th. But those are the Czechs have put on an exhibition today. Well done.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to see. It just shows the caliber. 1 to 4.
Shows the caliber. Shows that they can dominate on their home course.
But to be fair, that they could all win World Cups and World Championships anyway. They're all top notch, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you see that in that whole final. Just 4 seconds from 1st to 10th. Similar to what we saw at the Olympics and what we've seen at other World Cups. Just very high caliber in the men's kayak field right now.
What about rankings in the Czechs from 5th to 10th? Is it still a depth of field, or is it a big gap?
Yeah, Czech does have a strong national domestic race cup that goes around. In fact, they've got the last race of the season in Trnavka, one of the greatest courses in Czech, in a week. So yeah, you do see all the way down. You see strong under 23 program coming through.
Well, that was exciting. Look at that. Yuri Priskovic, despite his 2 seconds, comes through by 100th of a second from Ondrej Tunke, and Vavra Hradilek taking it 3rd, a massive 0.17 behind. With Prindis, Griga, Denario, Polacek, Schubert, Smolin, Egner, all of them putting good runs.
Yeah, amazing final. You saw Yuri just attack it everywhere he could make up some time. He was on it and pushing for it, and you also saw the other boys in such a tight margin, but Yuri did have that 2-second penalty, which shows how quick he is at the moment.
It means the pathway for us down to our truck's going to be blocked for the next hour or so. Which is, well, that's exciting. We've had top athletes winning all 3 classes so far today.
Yeah, it's been a good morning of paddling here in Prague.
Just seen a few of the slow-mo highlights from the final here. Just shows you how close these guys do go to the poles.
And thanks to the TV crews, it shows how they've mastered their art well.
Yeah, doing a great job. Kubal Gregor. And that's it for today's racing, I think. Or we got the kayak cross coming live this afternoon.
Exactly. That's in an hour's time. If you want to tune back in again, that's 15 to 16:30, where a lot of daredevils are going to go and put their creek boats to test, have a lot of fun. 2 upstreams this time, Eskimo turn, and quite a big landing mat, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely a good event to watch.
And remember to get over, everyone watching out there, to Planet Canoe on Facebook, at Planet Canoe on Instagram, and follow the sport.
Well, we're just about to wrap up for the finals time. Spencer Pomeroy, thanks so much for coming out of the water, coming off the water, and giving us your expert views. Mike Dawson, as ever, good to see you. I know you've had a few air miles in the last couple of weeks. You were in Rio, of course, made the final, then you went back to New Zealand. Here are the standings of the World Cup, and Vip Prindis really tight here, just ahead of Andre Tanko, Darius Popiela and Goigar coming up there. So it's going to be really exciting next weekend with the final double pointer in Tassen.
Yeah, we could see the order mix it up with the double points. It adds something pretty interesting, and Tadson's a good course, so tune in next week for some more action.
And I think that's about enough for us today, and we will see you a little bit later. So thanks for watching, thanks guests, and we'll see everyone soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So join us tomorrow live for the K1 women's final and the C2 men's, and later this afternoon is going to be the slalom cross.